Well, thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. And I want to thank you, all of these great leaders, for joining us as we welcome to the White House the presidents and prime ministers and various other forms of dignitary to this wonderful place. Is nothing like the White House to me. We're represented today, and your continent is represented by Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal, all very vibrant places with very valuable land, great minerals, great oil deposits, and wonderful people. Last month, the U.S.-Africa Business Summit had recorded an attendance record, actually, and generated $2.5 billion in new economic deals for the United States. On June 27th, the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda visited the White House to sign a historic peace agreement that we worked out. They've been fighting for 30 years. 7 million are dead, and they think the number is actually quite a bit higher than that. It's been a long and vicious fight, and I just wanted to say that the countries represented were very happy that we were able to solve that problem. I think over the next couple of weeks, the leaders of both countries will come to sign the final agreement. As you know, we had foreign ministers last week, but we're going to be signing an end to the horrible 30-year war. It's been going on for a long time. I've been reading about it, hearing about it, and it was a vicious war. It was a terrible war. I want to thank our outstanding senior advisor for Africa, Masad Boulos, for helping to mediate this breakthrough. He was very much involved in that settlement. Most people thought it couldn't be done. But there's still much more to be done, and we're going to be facilitating peace also in places like Sudan, where they have a lot of problems. Libya and others, we have there's a lot of anger on your continent, and we've been able to solve a lot of it. My administration is committed to strengthening our friendships in Africa through economic development efforts that benefit both the United States and our partners. And we're shifting from AID to trade. We had AID, or aid as we sometimes call it, right to trade. And trade seems to be a foundation that I've been able to settle a lot of these disputes, like, as an example, India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I said, you guys are going to fight, we're not going to trade. And we seem to be quite successful in doing that. To that end, we have closed the USAID group to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, which was tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're working tirelessly to forge new economic opportunities involving both the United States and many African nations. There's great economic potential in Africa, like few other places in many ways. In the long run, this will be far more effective and sustainable and beneficial than anything else that we can be doing together. I'm eager to work with each of you on your vital issues and also to discuss security. We've encouraged our staff at the White House to work along with these nations. There's such tremendous wealth there and potential there. We encourage the countries here today to make greater investments in defense, hopefully, of course, buying our equipment, because we do make the best defense equipment. I guess we proved that about 2 weeks ago in Iran, but we make the best equipment, best military equipment anywhere in the world by far. There's nobody close. And keep pursuing the fight against terrorism, which is a big problem in Africa. Immigration will also be on the. I hope we can bring down the high rates of people overstaying visas and also make progress on the safe third country agreements. And once again, I want to thank you all for being here, and it's an honor for me. Some of you I've met, and some of you I just got to meet, and I think it would be nice if you said a few words to the press, which is right back here. Do we have a camera over here? It'd be nice if you could. Oh, there it is. You could speak to the. You don't want to turn your head. I do it a lot. It's not pleasant, but perhaps we could start. Thank you very much. Great gentleman, by the way.
Merci pour m'avoir donné la parole, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you for giving
Je
me the
voudrais
floor, Mr.
d'abord
President.
commencer par, je voudrais tout d'abord
First of all,
commencer par remercier
I would like
le
to
président Trump
thank you, Mr.
pour nous
President
avoir
Trump,
adressé cette invitation.
for inviting us to
Je
come here
suis,
today.
Je suis Ghazouani, le président de
I'm
la
President
République
Ghazouani,
islamique
President
de
of
Mauritanie.
the Islamic Republic of Mauritania.
Donc, je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président, pour m'avoir
Thank you, Mr. President,
adressé cette
for this
invitation
invitation
et l'avoir aussi adressé à mes collègues ici présents.
and the invitation you sent to the other colleagues
C'est
present
un
here
message
today.
très fort de votre
This is a
part.
very strong message
nous recevons
from
bien
you,
votre
and
message, Monsieur le
we are receiving this message
message que nous recevons
very
de vous,
well. This
c'est
is
l'intérêt que vous portez à
a
un pays
message
respecté.
of interest
Et que vous
that
portez
you're
aussi
sending
à
to
travers
us,
nous
and it's
à
a
l'Afrique en tant que
message that you're sending to the whole of
Tout
Africa.
cela, c'est généreux de votre
All of
part.
this is generous on your
Nous le
part.
recevons.
We
Et
are
nous l'acceptons.
receiving this, and we accept this message from you.
Pour en ce qui, je voudrais aussi, avant de venir à la présentation de mon pays,
Before I talk about my country,
dire tout l'intérêt que nous portons
I would like to
à
let
l'engagement
you know
du
that
président
we
Trump
are
en faveur de la paix à travers le monde.
delighted to see President
Le président-
Trump's commitment to our
Vous êtes,
continent. Mr. President,
Au cours de cette petite période qui ne dépasse pas quelques
in
mois,
the short time you've been
à
back
chaque
in
fois-
office, the last few months,
vous venez au secours de la paix.
you came
Vous l'avez
to the
fait
rescue for
en Asie,
peace. You did it
le
in Asia,
Pakistan et l'Inde,
with
quand
Pakistan and India.
cette guerre avait commencé. Et si elle avait continué, on
The
peut
war sort of
imaginer
started, and if it had gone
vraiment les
on,
conséquences
the consequences
désastreuses
could have
qu'elle aurait
been
entraînées.
a real disaster.
Vous avez, depuis le début, vous êtes sur un
Since the
travail
beginning,
énorme en ce qui concerne
You've been doing a
cette
great
guerre
deal of work
au niveau de l'Europe, c'est-à-dire
on the
Ukraine,
war
ce
in Europe,
conflit
that
entre
is the conflict
Russie et
between Russia and Ukraine.
Vous n'avez pas tardé
You
à venir rapidement aussi
rushed
en Afrique
to Africa
pour résoudre un problème
to
prévu,
resolve
où
a
il y a eu
long-standing problem.
beaucoup d'efforts qui ont été
Lots of
consentis
efforts had been made
par beaucoup de chefs d'État.
by many heads of states,
Mais il est arrivé
but
qu'avec votre volonté,
your
vous avez
will
fait signer
made it
des
possible
accords.
for
Et
this
maintenant,
agreement
nous
to be
avons
signed.
ce conflit
And now
derrière nous.
this conflict is behind
Vous êtes en
us.
train de travailler
You are
avec
currently working
beaucoup d'enthousiasme,
with a great
et
deal of
avec
enthusiasm,
beaucoup d'intérêt et de force sur le Moyen-Orient.
and you're also
Et là
working
aussi,
on
c'est
the
un
Middle
autre
East.
problème.
You're paying a great
Nous
deal of
savons
attention
tous
to the
depuis
Middle
quand
East.
il est vieux
We
de combien
all
d'années.
know how far back this conflict
C'est
goes.
un conflit qui est vieux
It is a conflict
d'à peu près 80 ans,
that is about
Plus
80
quand
years
même.
old,
de 70 ans.
70
Mais c'est aussi
years,
une guerre
but it is also a
depuis
war
maintenant une année.
that
et demie.
has been raging
Et
for
elle a coûté la
a
vie,
year and a
et
half.
vous l'avez dit vous-même.
And
Elle
you've
a
also
coûté la
talked
vie
about
à
the human
énormément
toll.
de personnes.
Many people have died in this conflict.
Donc, tout cela, en énumérant ceci, vous avez bien sûr trouvé,
Of course,
fait arrêter la guerre
you also
entre
stopped
l'Iran et Israël. Et
the
là
war
aussi,
between
ça allait
Iran
être
and
désastreux
Israel.
pour toute
That could have
la région,
been
qui est une
a
région
real
effectivement
disaster for
très
the
sensible.
region. It's a sensitive region
Donc,
to start with.
vos efforts en faveur de la paix sont
Your
multiples.
work
Nous vous
in favor
remercions
of peace
et nous vous disons
has been
tout l'intérêt
tremendous.
aussi
And
que nous portons
we
et
are
soutenons
also very
dans ce sens
interested
de la paix.
in supporting peace.
Parce que quand il
in
n'y a,
the same way.
il n'y a pas de paix, vous venez de le dire
When there's
tout à
no
l'heure,
peace, like you
président
said
Darboux,
earlier
vraiment,
today,
quand il n'y a pas de
when
paix,
there's
nous
no
manquons de
peace,
beaucoup de choses intéressantes.
a lot of other
Quand
things
il n'y
are
a pas de paix,
lacking. When there's no
il
peace,
y a difficilement de la prospérité.
it is difficult to have
Il y a
prosperity.
difficilement de la
It
tranquillité,
is
de
difficult to
la
have calm, to
On dort mal.
have
On n'est pas
a sense of
à l'aise
quietness.
dans la
It's
vie
hard to
quotidienne
sleep.
de
It's
chacun.
hard to go about your business
Ça,
every
vous le
day.
comprenez, Monsieur
You
le Président,
understand
et
that
vous travaillez
well,
là-dessus.
Mr. President,
Donc,
and you're working
merci,
on this. So
quand même.
thank you.
On doit vous le dire.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Moi, je suis président
I am
de
the
la Mauritanie.
president of Mauritania.
Monsieur le Président, la Mauritanie est un petit pays.
Mauritania is a small country.
Un petit pays selon certains critères.
Depending on the criteria you
Si on
apply.
parle du nombre
If you look at the
de
number of
population,
people who
la
live in
Mauritanie est
Mauritania,
un petit pays parce
it's
qu'on
a
est aux
small
environs de
country
5
because we
millions
have
de
about
personnes.
5 million
Si on
people
est un
in
peu plus, c'est
Mauritania.
un tout petit peu.
We might just be a little
Elle
bit
est
over
aussi
5
un
million.
petit pays
It's a small country also in the
dans
sense
l'influence
that
qu'elle fait à travers le monde. C'est pas comme les
what
États-Unis.
influence it has throughout the world. It's not like the US, Mr.
Donc, sur le
President.
plan du poids que nous avons, on est à l'international. Nous
Internationally,
reconnaissons et nous n'avons pas de complexe
we
pour le dire que nous ne
understand
sommes
that
pas.
our weight, our influence is not that great, and we have no complex about this.
Elle est aussi un petit pays en
It's
ce qui
also a small
concerne
country.
le niveau de prospérité.
Because of our
Nous ne
level
sommes pas
of
très prospères.
prosperity, we're not a
Et nous avons
very
encore
prosperous
beaucoup de problèmes
country.
pour le
We have
bien-être de la
many
population.
problems related to the well-being of our
Mais elle est
population.
aussi un grand pays.
But it is also a great country, a
Par
big
d'autres
country in other
Elle
ways.
est un grand pays par sa
Mauritania
position stratégique.
Is a great country in the
C'est-
sense of its
Elle
strategic
est sur
position.
l'autre côte de l'Atlantique.
It
Elle
is
est le
on the
voisin des
Atlantic
États-Unis.
coast, which
Elle
makes
est
it a neighbor to the
le trait d'union
US. It is
entre
what unites
l'Afrique du Nord
North
et
Africa
l'Afrique subsaharienne.
and sub-Saharan Africa, or
Et
what
ça,
links
c'est
the
par
two.
rapport à sa position stratégique, mais par rapport
That
à
is
ses
its
ressources.
strategic
Elle a
position,
énormément de
but
ressources.
also in terms
Monsieur
of
le Président,
resources. We have a great deal of
Nous avons
resources,
énormément de ressources.
many,
Et
many
nous présentons
resources,
énormément
and
d'opportunités
we have a lot of opportunities to
d'investissement.
offer in terms of investment.
Nous avons des minerais,
We have
dont
minerals,
des minerais rares, avérés.
rare
Nous avons
earths,
de la terre, des terres rares.
rare
Nous avons du
minerals.
manganèse.
We have manganese.
Nous avons de l'uranium.
We have uranium.
Et nous avons de très bons indices
And we have
pour le
a
lithium, pour le
good
cobalt et pour le
inclination
nickel.
that we have
Nous sommes le
lithium
deuxième
and other
producteur
minerals.
depuis
We're the
60 ans
second largest producer
en
for the
Afrique
last 60
du
years
fer.
in Africa of iron
Nous produisons
ore.
beaucoup de
We
cuivre.
produce
Et nous
a
avons
lot.
des richesses et des ressources
and
énormes
we have a lot of
halieutiques,
resources
c'est-à-dire
in
dans le domaine de
our
de la
sea
mer.
waters, so
Je
lots
ne veux
of
pas être
fishing
long.
and whatnot. I don't want to
Je-
spend
mais
too much
nous avons
time on
aussi-
this.
We have to go,
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
but I appreciate it very much. I appreciate it. Maybe we're going to have to go a little bit quicker than this because we have a whole schedule. If I could just add, your name and your country would be great. Thank you, please.
Muito obrigado, Sr. Presidente Trump, e sobretudo
Thank you, Mr.
toca a mim e a
President,
minha pessoa.
and
É a segunda
for
vez
welcome everything.
também
For us, the
convidado-
second time
convidou-me
here
pela
to come
primeira vez quando era
as,
primeiro-ministro.
as a guest
E agora enquanto
The first time we had that meeting
da Guiné-Bissau.
in Guinea-Bissau.
E não vou alongar muito.
But I will not
A Guiné-Bissau é um país da
talk so
paz.
much.
E
But
nós
Guinea-Bissau
contribuímos e
is
queremos
a
acompanhar esta
peaceful
dinâmica,
country, and
uma paz mundial. Somos um pequeno país.
we are a
Nós somos
small
grande
country.
Estado. Não um
But
Estado
we are
como
a
os
great
Estados Unidos.
state,
Nossa
not a
teoria,
great state like the United
Não há pequenos
States,
Estados, grandes Estados, há Estados.
but
E
we are a
para
great country
terminar,
as
quero
well.
dizer ao
And
Presidente Trump que
to end,
nós estamos a acompanhar a dinâmica
we
da
are
paz entre a Ucrânia e a
following
Rússia,
your
Médio Oriente, entre
dynamics
Israel
and the war
Gaza.
with Russia and
E podes contar
Ukraine,
com a Guiné-Bissau.
and
Muito obrigado.
you can count on Guinea-Bissau. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Please, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, let me congratulate you for your recent celebration of your 249th anniversary. We did in Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. And also we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We are a country that have had series of democratic elections, and our country has been cooling down. And also we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia.
Yeah.
We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region, because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well,
Very
and
good, sir. Thank you.
they come from
to meet a great American president. Homologue président africain. Je voudrais avant tout remercier ici officiellement la
No microphone for the speaker.
de travail, d'amitié entre nos différents pays.
No interpretation.
Parce qu'aujourd'hui, le président Trump
There's no
est la
microphone
fierté
for
du
the
peuple
speaker.
américain et la fierté du monde entier. Dans plusieurs domaines, le domaine économique,
Still no microphone for the
le domaine
speaker.
politique. Et au niveau diplomatique, je salue le
Could you
déploiement-
turn that on? Yeah. Just press it. There you go.
Yes. Et au niveau diplomatique, je salue
I
les
would
succès
like
que vous avez
to commend
obtenus
you,
pour
Mr.
amener l'accord de
President,
paix entre la RDC et le
for the
Rwanda.
success you had
Mais
in
vous ne
reaching a
devez
peace
pas vous
agreement
arrêter
between
là.
Rwanda and the
L'Afrique est un
DRC.
grand continent où il y a beaucoup de
Africa is a
problèmes.
vast
Nous
continent
comptons
that
énormément
has
sur
many
vous pour amener la
problems,
paix
and
au
we
Soudan
truly count on
et même dans
you
le
for
Sahel.
your assistance
Parce
in
qu'on ne peut pas
Sudan
investir
and in the Sahel, because
dans la guerre.
no investment
Pour
can be
investir, il
made
faut la paix.
when there is a
Et je
war.
pense que l'ensemble
For
des 5 chefs
investment,
d'État
you
où nous
need
sommes ici
peace.
présents,
The other heads of state who
Nos
are
pays
here
sont en
with
paix.
me represent countries that are
le Gabon
at
est un havre de
peace,
paix depuis longtemps.
and that has been the case
Et lorsque nous sommes
for
ici
some
sur
time.
sur cette table, nous
When-
disposons également des matières premières,
We also have raw
Des minéraux,
materials.
des terres rares, d'une eau.
Mineral
Nous ne sommes pas
herbs.
des pays pauvres.
We are not poor countries.
Nous sommes des pays riches en
We are
matière,
rich countries when it comes to
mais
raw
nous avons besoin des
materials.
partenaires
But we need
pour nous
partners
accompagner pour les
to
développer.
support us and
Avec
help
des
us develop
partenariats
those
win-win,
resources with win-win
gagnant-gagnant.
partnerships.
C'est ce que nous souhaitons.
That is our
Je suis
wish.
souvent vos discours
I
et je
often
m'inscris
listen
à
to your
l'intérieur
remarks and speeches,
parce que
Mr.
nous voulons que nos
President.
matières premières soient transformées mais
We
dorénavant
also
sur place,
want our raw materials to be processed
chez nous,
locally in
créer de
our
la valeur
countries so that we can
et pour créer
create
des emplois pour
value
les jeunes,
and to create
pour qu'ils
jobs
arrêtent de
for
mourir,
youth so that
de
they
traverser la
stop
mer pour
dying.
venir jusqu'ici.
They are crossing the sea,
Et c'est ce que nous attendons,
the ocean,
la
to go to other
transformation locale
countries.
sur place.
That is what we
Le
want to
Gabon
have, local
est un
processing
pays
of raw
riche
materials.
de 2 millions
Gabon
500 000 habitants
is a rich country. We have
Avec une
over 2
énorme
million
diversité.
inhabitants and a great
et plusieurs
deal
matières premières,
of
avec du pétrole,
diversity,
des
raw
réserves de gaz.
materials, oil and gas
et nous
reserves,
souhaitons que ce soit exploité
and we would like those resources to be
dans un
tapped
modèle économique qui nous arrange.
using an economic
Depuis le 30
model
août 2023,
that fits
date du coup de la libération,
Since
Nous avons
our
changé
liberation,
notre registre de commerce.
we have
Nous avons mis de
changed
la transparence,
how we do
des appels
trade.
d'offres.
We have focused on
Pour
transparency
tous ceux qui
and
veulent venir
bids
investir
for
chez nous.
anyone who wants to come invest in our country.
Si vous regardez l'actualité,
If you
nous avons également
follow the
demandé au Gabon de
news, we've
revoir les accords de
also
pêche avec l'Union européenne.
worked on
Parce que nous
agreements
estimons qu'ils
with
n'étaient
the
pas win-win.
European Union, and we wanted to
Et donc, c'est un
review
marché
those because
ouvert.
we didn't think that those
On a
were
pris
win-win
l'engagement de transformer
opportunities.
du
So our
manganèse
market is
sur
open.
place.
We want to
Le manganèse que vous
process
achetez ici
manganese
par l'intermédiaire de la
locally,
société Eramet.
which you
Il vient du
purchase
Gabon.
through a
Je ne sais
company
pas à quel prix
called
vous l'achetez,
Aramet,
mais je suis sûr que vous l'achetez plus cher.
and I'm sure that it's more
Lorsqu'il le prend chez nous.
expensive
Pourquoi ne pas venir
compared
investir
to
sur place et
when
le
you
transformer
can
sur place?
come and buy it directly
Pour le
from
transformer,
us.
nous avons besoin
In order to do
de
this
8 à
local
10 gigas
processing, we need
d'électricité.
8 to 10
C'est encore un marché
gigawatts
ouvert
of electricity.
pour toutes les
Again,
sociétés américaines
this
qui
is
veulent
an
venir
open
investir chez
bid.
nous dans
Any
l'électricité.
American company that wants to invest
C'est un
in
domaine à
electricity in Gabon
Nous avons
is
aussi en matière de
welcome to
défense,
take advantage of that opportunity.
oui,
Now, looking at defense,
le golfe de Guinée
the Gulf of
qui
Guinea
fait face à la
is an
piraterie
issue.
maritime.
There is maritime
Et nous devons le
piracy
stabiliser
in
ensemble.
that area, and we want to
Vous
work
avez parlé que
together
vous
to
avez des meilleurs
stabilize.
équipements.
You said you had the best
Oui, nous le
equipment,
souhaitons.
the best military equipment,
Pour
and that's what
repousser
we'd like to
la
have,
piraterie maritime
so
dans
that
le
we
golfe de
can
Guinée.
stop maritime piracy in the
Seuls,
Gulf
nous ne
of Guinea.
pouvons pas.
We can't do it
On a
alone.
besoin d'un partenaire
We need
fiable,
a
robuste,
reliable and strong
s'engage
partner that is
avec du
committed
concret.
and that takes
Et moi, je vous aime parce que
real
vous êtes
steps, real
pragmatique.
action. We also need to be
Vous êtes
pragmatic,
concret.
and that's what you
Moi, en tant
are.
que général, je le suis aussi.
And I'm a general,
J'aime les
and I
choses qui
am
vont
too.
vite.
I'm pragmatic. I like it when
Le
things
pays, il est libre,
move
il est
quickly.
ouvert à tout le monde.
Our country is
Venez
free,
investir, ne
open
soyez pas les
to one
derniers
and all.
à venir
You are
frapper aux portes de
welcome
l'Afrique.
to come and
Sinon, d'autres
invest.
viendront à votre place.
Otherwise, other
C'est ce que
countries
je tenais à
might
vous dire.
come
Merci.
instead of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you so much,
Je voudrais d'abord
Mr. President.
vous remercier pour
I would
l'invitation.
like to thank you for this
L'honneur que nous
invitation.
avons
It
aujourd'hui,
is an honor
concernant
for
particulièrement
us
d'être à la Maison Blanche
to be
et pour
here
pouvoir
at the
échanger
White
avec
House
vous
and to have this
sur
opportunity to
le
speak
nouveau
with
cadre de
you
partenariat
about
que vous voulez
the new partnership
définir avec l'Afrique
that you are putting in
concernant
place with
particulièrement
Africa,
les investissements.
particularly for
Mais avant, je voudrais
investment.
saluer votre
I
engagement
also
pour
wanted
la
to
paix dans le
commend
monde.
you for your commitment to peace throughout the world and the incredible diplomatic success that you had with the DRC, as my colleagues mentioned. You said that this put an end to a long war that claimed many lives, and thankfully you were here to put an end to this 30-year war. I also wanted to express that Africa supports all efforts to bring back peace to Sudan, Libya, and in the Sahel. Mr. President, as you've seen, you can only do business when there is peace and security, and you build peace everywhere in the world so that there can be better investments. The entire world is grateful to you for this. Now, with respect to my country, Senegal, I've been president for some 15, 16 months now, and I want to reassure all American investors about our country's political stability and our favorable regulatory environment, which we are continuously improving upon in order to attract more investment. I wanted to speak about two projects that I think are an exceptional opportunity. I will speak about the U.S. Ecological Survey, which can help assess the potential of the minerals in our country. And thanks to American companies, we've been able to discover oil and gas.
950 milliards de mètres cubes de gaz
some 950 billion cubic
cela contribuera du côté de notre pays à
meters
renforcer l'économie,
of gas,
mais aussi
that we can tap into in order to support our economy. And again, here we were able to do this with an American company. Another project I'd like to mention, and again, I would like to invite American investors to take part in this. It's for a digital city. We identified a space within the city of Dakar. It has it's on some 40 hectares, and this is a great opportunity for American tech companies to come in and make Dakar a tech city open to Africa. I was wondering what your secret was for resolving all these complex crises, and I know you are a tremendous golf player. Golf requires concentration and precision, qualities that also make for a great leader. Senegal has exceptional opportunities to offer, including in the area of tourism. So perhaps an investment could be made in a golf course in Senegal. It would just be 6 hours by flight from New York, from Miami, from Europe, or from the Gulf, and that would be an opportunity for you to show off your skills on the golf course too. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice. It's some way to show off my skills. It's a long trip to show off my skill, but that's really nice. And he's led a very interesting life. He looks like a very young person. He's a little older than he looks, but a fantastic job. He was treated very unfairly by his government, and he prevailed. And so congratulations on that. Really, congratulations. A great job. And you've all done a fantastic job. And so we'll be talking to you as we have the meal. Do you want to ask any questions, please? Where's my reporter from Africa? There you are. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. President.
She's very famous in Africa. Okay?
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Miss, I have one question for the African presidents and one question for President Trump. As you can see, Mr. President Trump, all the African presidents are very happy with your efforts to bring peace in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. My question to you is, today you are making history by receiving 5 African presidents and showing the interest of the United States to collaborate and to work close with the African nations. African continent is watching, African youth is watching, and this new approach that your administration is taking to deal with African nations, not only based on help, but in doing business that everybody can win, is really much appreciated for all the Africans. My question is, are you planning, Mr. President, in the future to travel to Africa to see firsthand all those countries in Africa, all those potential that those countries have? And for the African leaders, as you can see, President Trump is working to bring peace not only in Africa, but also in the world. Are you all considering to nominate President Trump for a Nobel Prize Peace?
That's a very nice reporter. I got to meet her 2 weeks ago when we had the Congo and Rwanda, and we had some other people up from Africa, and that was the first time. But that's very nice. I appreciate the questions. Very nice, actually. Would you like to? At some point, I would like to go to Africa. Absolutely. We're going to see what the schedule is, but at some point, I would like to do that very much. Would you like to give a fast answer, please?
Thank you very much. Of course, we are supporting this.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, microphone, please.
Of course, on soutient cette dynamique pour la paix.
We are in favor of this dynamic for peace. We are very committed on peace. I am the first head of state who went to Russia and who went to Ukraine both. since the start of the
J'étais
war.
président en exercice de la CEDEAO.
I held the presidency of ECOWAS,
J'étais parti
and
voir Poutine. 4 heures de temps.
we spoke
Je
for
suis parti en
4
Ukraine.
hours, and then I went to Ukraine.
J'ai fait 12 heures de train pour parler.
I spent 12 hours on a
Président
train
Zelensky.
to speak
Mais là,
to
bon,
President
le poids de
Zelensky.
Président Trump,
But
c'est
now
autre
the
chose.
weight of
On est là, nous
President
tous,
Trump is something else
avec vous
altogether.
ensemble,
We are with you. We
pour voir comment
are
on peut aider
behind you to
pour
see
ramener
what we
cet
can
pays que
do
je pense,
to help
avec la
bring
guerre,
peace
personne gagne.
back. No one wins when there's war.
Donc vous avez notre soutien
So you have our
pour
support
qu'on puisse amener la paix.
so that we can bring peace back. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Go ahead, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président Trump. Merci,
Thank you, Mr. President Trump.
Mesdames
Thank
de la
you
presse et messieurs.
for your
Le
questions.
lauréat pour le prix Nobel de la paix, je ne vois pas d'objection.
A
sans
Nobel
être
Peace
prétentieux.
Prize,
Je
well,
pense que
I
le
don't
président Trump le
see
mérite
any problem
pour
with
les
it. I
efforts déjà
think
qu'il a fait pour la
that
paix à travers le
President
monde.
Trump
Et je
deserves
me
it
situe
for
également
all
dans
the
ma zone,
efforts
notamment celle de la
that he's
CAC,
worked
où il a
on.
ramené la paix
And
entre la RDC
he
et le Rwanda.
brought
C'est ma zone,
peace
la CAC.
back
Nous nous
in
sommes
the
remis à
SEAC
plusieurs fois entre
region.
États. C'est un accord
That is
qu'on n'a
my
jamais pu
region, the
obtenir
region
dans la
where
CAC.
DRC and
Aujourd'hui, c'est le président Trump,
Rwanda
un président d'ailleurs, qui ramène
signed
la
a
paix
deal. And so he is
dans la
now
CAC.
bringing
Donc je
peace
pense que
back into a region where that
il
was
mérite ce
never
prix Nobel.
possible. So I believe that he
C'est
does
mon avis.
deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. That is my opinion on this.
Well, thank you very much. It's very, very nice. Thank you. I didn't know I'd be treated this nicely. This is great. We could do this all day long. Thank you very much. Please, go ahead.
Mr. President, I believe that we have to continue to support America in the strength to be able to bring about peace in the world. America is a melting point and also a country that we all look forward to. And I want to encourage you, because without peace, we can't have a world to live in. And we stand with you on that.
Right. Thank you. Well said. Please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr.
Merci à vous
President,
aussi
and
pour
thank
votre
you
question,
for your
très
question.
importante.
Very important question
là,
indeed.
Excusez-moi de dire que
Forgive me for
malheureusement,
saying
je ne suis
this,
pas
but
spécialiste, je ne
unfortunately,
connais pas comment ça passe.
I don't really understand. I don't know how things work when it comes to Nobel Prizes, but I can guarantee you that Mauritania would never be opposed to President Trump receiving a Nobel Peace Prize, because he's already working very hard in favor of peace throughout the world, with no distinction, no regard to what continent it's on, and he's working on areas where there are tensions everywhere, and he's committed towards peace, and our world needs more peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Je pense que
Thank you
sera
very
la
much.
décision du jury.
The jury
Ce ne
will
sera pas au
decide.
vote des pays.
It's not a matter of voting
Mais ce qui est sûr,
amongst
c'est
our countries,
qu'aujourd'hui,
but
les
what is
états
for
de
sure is
service
that
et les résultats engagés
the
en si peu
results and
de
the
temps
work done in such a short amount of time
pour l'attribution de ce prix-là en sa
that
faveur. Et je pense
you
que
would
le
be a
jury
good
voit ça et
recipient.
le monde entier
And I'm
voit
sure
ça et
that the
apprécie ça.
jury sees that and the rest of the
J'espère
world
que
sees it as well and
quand ça arrivera,
understands
tout le monde trouvera
When the time comes, I
à
think
considérer que ça a été mérité.
everyone will see that it is a deserved
Félicitations déjà pour ce qui a été
prize.
déjà fait et qui plaide en cette
Congratulations
faveur-là.
on
Je
what
pense que
you've
si
done
c'était des
so far.
sondages, pour considérer
If
que vous êtes
we
bien loin
took a
devant.
poll, I think you would be very far ahead in those polls.
Thank you very much. Very nice. All of you, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Peter?
Thank you, President Trump. James Comey and John Brennan, now under criminal investigation related to the Trump-Russia probe. Do you want to see these two guys behind bars?
Well, I know nothing about it other than what I read today, but I will tell you, I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked as hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people, so whatever happens, happens.
And now, a few weeks after the strikes that you ordered on the nuclear facilities in Iran, there is an Iranian official who says you, President Trump, have done something that he can no longer sunbathe in Mar-a-Lago. As you lie there with your stomach to the sun, a small drone might hit you in the navel. It's very simple. Do you think that's a real threat? And when is the last time you went sunbathing anyway?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I don't know. Maybe I was around 7 or so. I'm not too big into it. Yeah, I guess it's a threat. I'm not sure it's a threat, actually, but perhaps it is.
And on one other subject, two Democratic senators now, Cory Booker and Alex Padilla, have a new bill out. They want to require CBP and ICE officers to have legible IDs, and they don't want CBP or ICE officers covering their faces. Would you ever sign that?
Well, they wouldn't be saying that if they didn't hate our country, and they obviously do. I'm surprised that they would do it, knowing a little bit about them. I don't know them well, but these officers are doing a tremendous job. They're great patriots. If you expose them because of statements like have been made by Democrats and others on the left, usually, mostly, I think probably exclusively, you put them in great danger, tremendous danger. And it's sort of funny when people picket in front of Columbia, in front of Harvard, and they have masks on, more than masks. I mean, you can't see anything. Nobody complains about that. But when a patriot who works for ICE or Border Patrol puts a mask on so that they won't recognize him and his family, so they can lead a little bit of a normal life after having worked so hard and so dangerously, there's a problem with that. So they have this is the problem with the Democrats. They have a lot of bad things going on in their heads. They've really become they've lost their confidence, number one, and they've become somewhat deranged. I want to do whatever's necessary to protect our great law enforcement people, and they are right at the top of the list.
And your agriculture department also announced this week that they are going to start limiting Chinese ownership of American farmland. Why do you think that the Chinese have been buying up all this farmland in our country so close to military installations?
Well, I don't want to get into that. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. We're going to see, and I'm going to, they're going to be making a recommendation to me, but we have a very good relationship. As you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs to the United States now, and so I'm not going to get into that right now. Yeah, please.
Yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that the White House was weighing whether to send another Patriot air defense system to Ukraine. Can you confirm that reporting?
They would like it. They've asked for it. They're very rare indeed, because a lot of systems have been sent to Ukraine. But they would like to. I know they made the request. We're going to have to take a look at it. Very expensive system. It's a shame that we have to spend so much money on a war that would have never happened if I were president. That's a terrible, terrible war over there, and it's really a shame. It's very sad. When you talk about a system like that, highly sophisticated, tremendous amount of money, and they're doing it because they want to prevent death. They're getting hit hard, very hard. So we're looking at it.
Also in Russia. Yesterday, sir, as well, Ukraine was hit by over 700 drones sent by Russia last night. What's your response to that
Well, I've been sort of letting people know I'm not happy about what's going on. It's a war that should have never happened. It should not happen now. They're losing. Now it's up. I've been saying 5,000. Now it's up to 7,000. Think of it, 7,000 people a week on both sides. 7,000 people, young, mostly military people, young souls are dead and dying, and it should be stopped. It should be stopped. Very sad to see what's happening. Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain how you calculated your latest round of tariffs? Was there a formula that was used? And do you expect any of these countries to face tariffs as well?
The formula was a formula based on common sense, based on deficits, based on how we've been treated over the years, and based on raw numbers. And we're going to have a couple of more coming out today. Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all. We're going to be releasing a Brazil number, I think, later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. but they're based on very substantial facts and also past history. You look at the past history. We never had anybody in the White House that understood the numbers or were into it like I have. You know, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, hundreds of billions, and we haven't even started yet. And it's going to be a great thing for our country. And I think it's going to be a fair thing for the world. And we really haven't had too many complaints because I'm keeping them at a very low number, very conservative, as you would say, number. And we haven't had, I'm sure they will be complaining at certain points, but we haven't had complaints. We've been treated very unfairly by both friend and foe. And friend has treated us very badly. It's not even believable that for so many years, you know, I was using tariffs in my first administration. We had the most successful financially administration that there's ever been. This is going to be much better. But we got cut short with the COVID because I didn't think it was appropriate when, you know, Italy, Spain, so the horror show that a lot of the countries went through. So I cut it a little bit short. But we took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had the most successful term ever from a president financially. But this is going to be much more successful. Yes, please.
Do you expect any of the countries here to face tariffs as well?
I haven't thought of it, but I don't know. Let's see, I like him, and him. No, I don't think so. Not too much. It's very good. He's a no. Yes,
Thank you for taking our questions, Mr. President.
Okay.
You talked about the amount of external revenue the country has brought in thanks to your tariffs. Can you talk about how these hundreds of billions of dollars that are getting brought in will help grow the country, and what do you hope to put it towards?
Well, bigger than the tariffs, actually, are the fact that when you charge the tariffs at a certain point, they say, well, we can't pay those tariffs. It doesn't make economic sense. These are wealthy countries, and they or their companies will come into our country and build, and that's what's actually happening. If you had a very low tariff, there'd be no incentive to do that. If you have no tariff, like we used to have, which is so stupid, it's not even believable, but then obviously they make their product, the product in their country. They have the jobs, they have the income, they have the taxes, they have everything, and they just send it into us, and it's jobs that we wouldn't get. Now the wheel is turned, and what we're doing is we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars, money that we've never seen before. But more important than that, we have a lot of people that would rather not have to pay that. So they're coming in and they're building plants. AI, we're leading everybody, including China, by a lot with AI. They're building their own plant. You heard me say yesterday, they're building their own electric generating plants to go along with the factories or plants that they're building. If they want to do that, we're getting them fast approvals, very fast turnarounds. They're using mostly natural gas to start off, but they're using coal. They have the right to use coal. They have the right to use nuclear. Nuclear's come a long way in the last 5 years. So we're getting them very fast approvals. We have factories and plants building at a level that we've never had in this country before. Yeah.
And secondly, a study from the Council of Economic Advisors. You put it on Truth Social yesterday. It showed that your assessment that tariffs would slow inflation was accurate and that the prices of imported has fallen, that your assessment was right, the critics were wrong. Why do so-called experts continually misread your economic policy, sir?
Well, it's not the experts, it's the fake news and a combination of that and the Democrats. I saw an ad on television today on Fox, and it was some ad about, Trump has raised costs. It's the opposite. I actually put out a statement. I brought down costs. I brought down the cost of groceries. I brought down the cost of energy, tremendously groceries. If you remember my first week in office, the press was screaming at me about the cost of eggs. They were 4 times higher than they were just a short time ago. That was caused by Biden and stupid policies, and we got that down. And by Easter, it was normalized, and now it's actually even at a lower price. So when I see an ad like that, it's always good to respond. I feel you have to respond. It was an ad that things are more costly. No, they're much less costly. Yesterday, $1.99 a gallon. There's 3 states were selling gasoline at $1.99. You haven't seen that for a long time. And I brought costs way down. Just about every cost. I can't think of a cost that went up but just about every country. So what they do is they lie. I mean, they take ads. You'd almost think that the advertising station would stop it because they know it's wrong. It's such a lie. All you can do is say it's a lie and explain it. I guess I have the ability to explain it at conferences like this, so I like to take advantage of it and do it. But costs are substantially down under the Trump administration. And as you know, Biden had the highest inflation, I believe, in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but regardless, I think it was really the highest in the history of our country. And they were up to numbers that nobody ever saw before. And we have inflation now totally under control. We have a Fed chairman that, if he was doing his job properly, would lower interest rates. But we're bullying through even that. We're doing so well, it's not having that kind of an impact on us. But you want to see a rocket ship? We should have the lowest interest rates, because without us, there's nothing. And we have a strong country now, and we're taking in a lot of money. And other countries aren't even complaining. They got away with murder. They took advantage of a lot of very stupid people that sat in this seat, very stupid people, or people that didn't understand business or something was going on. But hard to believe that they got away with it for so many years. But now, and I'm treating them very fairly. Again, we have countries with tremendous deficits with us, where we have, where we essentially lose a lot of money. And we are changing that around very rapidly. And I think it's about time somebody did it. Yeah, please.
Sir, yesterday you said that you were not sure who ordered the munitions halted to Ukraine. Have you since been able to figure that out?
Well, I haven't thought about it because we're looking at Ukraine right now and munitions, but I have not gone into it.
What does it say that such a big decision could be made inside your government without you knowing?
I would know. If a decision was made, I will know. I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely I'd give the order, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, please.
Can I ask how your meeting with Netanyahu went over the last couple of days, and how realistic do you think a ceasefire is this week?
Well, we're talking about Gaza for the most part. I think we have a chance this week or next week. Not definitely. There's nothing definite about war and Gaza and all of the other places that we all deal with so much. But there's a very good chance that we'll have a settlement, an agreement of signed this week and maybe next week if not.
African Growth and Opportunity Act, which has been central to many sub-Saharan countries having access to the U.S. market, that's due to expire in September. Are you hoping to extend that beyond it?
Well, we'll take a look at that. Yes, please.
Thank you. That's up to Congress to take a first crack at. We know that program's been in place for about 20 years, and at the end result of that, we see a lot of other countries operating in Africa. We still see a lot of tariff and non-tariff barriers in Africa. So I think any discussion about that act would also have to think about how we address those kinds of barriers.
Yeah, Peter.
President Trump, in Alvarado, Texas, a few days ago, 10 people wearing all black allegedly set off fireworks outside an ICE office to lure the officers out so they could ambush them, shoot at them. They had guns and vests and two-way radios. Do you think that this was an isolated incident, or do you think there's a national threat of a left-wing militia that is targeting ICE and CBP?
Well, I think you have some very stupid people in the left who have some money that are making it available to these people, because you look at the guns they had, they were brand new. You look at even the clothing they were wearing, it looked like it just came out of some military shop. So you have some very stupid people that if anything ever happened, they'd be the first to go. They don't understand that. They'd be the first to go. They'd be the first ones hit. But there is money being put behind people. When you look at the weapons they have, the newness of the weapons, rifles that just came out and they have the latest model. So there's something going on, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
And what do you think the penalty should be for these people who are, if they are found guilty, for people who shoot at ICE officers?
Very, very stiff. Very stiff. A long time in jail, a long time. And one got hit yesterday in the neck, and he fortunately is going to be okay, but he got hit yesterday in the neck. No good.
And what would you think if I read you a quote from a lawmaker who says about ICE to abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that is inappropriate and outrageous. And I told you that that was Democrat John Fetterman.
Well, it's, by the way, I assume when you read that, because you paused in the middle, you're going to have to read that again without the pause. Could you read that again, please?
To abolish it, to treat them as criminals or anything that's inappropriate and outrageous.
So he's saying that to treat the people that did the shooting is... Oh, okay, good. Because the way you read it, it really was the opposite. But that's okay. That's all right. I think that's what he meant. No, the new John Fetterman is exactly what you said. He's right. He's right. And we have to protect our police officers, and we will. And we have been. If you saw the stats released by the FBI the other day, the murder rate's way down, the lowest it's been in a long time, and that took place over the last 6 months. For the last 6 months, murder, it's a hell of a subject to have to talk about, but murder is way down at almost getting to be modern day records. So that's despite the fact that we have a lot of people that came into the country that shouldn't be here.
Mr. President?
Yes, please.
So two questions, one on tariffs, the other on the IRS. On tariffs, China is reportedly softening their impact on U.S. tariffs in Africa, announcing last month that they would halt charges on imports for nearly all of its African partners.
Good.
Does this move by China influence your thinking, your approach to tariffs on the continent?
Well, we treat Africa great in many different ways, including with tariffs. But, parts of Africa charge us tremendous tariffs, as you know. And they're going to be dropping those tariffs. They've already informed me they're going to be dropping those tariffs. But we treat Africa far better than China or anybody else, anyplace else. Yeah.
And on the IRS says that churches can now endorse political candidates. What's your reaction to this, and how do you expect this to influence some of the work that's afoot on the continent? There's a lot of American churches that are missionaries doing missionary work on the continent. Do you support that?
I love the fact that churches can endorse a political candidate. I think so, because we have a lot of respect for the people that lead the church, for the pastors and the ministers and the rabbis and the all different leaders, all different religions, and people respect those people. And I think there's nothing wrong. It was a very big penalty if that took place just a little while ago. They had a thing called the Johnson Act, and it was a very big penalty. I think it's great if a pastor, minister, priest, rabbi, and we could very much go into your religion, by the way, which is something that people are having great respect for throughout the world. If somebody of faith wants to endorse, I think it's something that I'd like to hear. And I can guarantee you the people that they're with every Saturday or Sunday or whatever it is they're with, they want to hear from these people. And it was a very severe penalty. Those people were not allowed to speak up. Now they're allowed to speak up. No, I think it's terrific.
Mr. President, your administration took new actions against Harvard University today. Are you still optimistic about reaching a deal with the university?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Harvard's been very bad, totally anti-Semitic. And, they'll absolutely reach a deal. Peter?
I just got a text from our colleague John Roberts. He says that we are now reporting the guy who was arrested in the Alvarado, Texas incident for tampering with the evidence was a green card recipient under the Biden administration and a prior DACA recipient. What do you think of that?
It's very sad. It's very bad. A lot of them are here. We came in 21 million. I think it's higher than that, by the way, but they say 21 million people came in. Many of them are criminals. Many of them are murderers. 11,888 is what they say are murderers. And they came in through open border policies, no checking, no vetting, no nothing. And we have a lot of that. And despite that, we have crime down, which is pretty amazing.
And this is a
And
long
say hello
meeting,
to
so
John. Say hello to John Roberts.
I will. I'm sure he's watching this right now. A lot of news has broken since we've been in here. Axios says a secret White House meeting between Steve Witkoff, Ron Dermer, and a Qatari envoy on Tuesday led to significant progress in the negotiations over the Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. What can you tell us about this
It's
secret
very possible.
meeting?
I will tell you we're getting very close to a deal. I don't know if it's secret or not secret, but it doesn't matter to me. Secret's fine if it gets us to where we want to be. We want to have a ceasefire. We want to have peace. We want to get the hostages back. And I think we're close to doing it. Okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Peter. Good job, everybody. Huh? Thank you. That was a good job.